This is part 3 of showing how to read wastewater. So picking up where we left off, for people that get overwhelmed by data, I'm going to show you visually what this means. So these are the summer waves from 2020 to the present. Putting them all on the same scale from when the wave started to when it ended, we can visually see that the peak is shifting further and further right, so it's taking longer to hit the peak. And that prior to a spike, each time there is this sort of lull period, so that's sort of what we're in right now before it will go up again, which, if we're following the trend, means that we're probably going to hit our peak sometime over in this area right here if we're following this again once more. Now, using the start and end times and the start to peak times, we can sort of give an estimate for when the wave would end, or more interestingly, when the wave should peak. So one way we can estimate this is by plotting the 3 points, the time to peak, and set that through the y-intercept since we're starting at no COVID and then having COVID. And then just plug in 4 days for this right here, and that will give us 146 days, which puts the estimated peak around November 14th. However, if we look at it another way and say, okay, this point maybe was a little out there, let's try to just use these points, so we can take the difference between 56 and 42, and then multiply that difference times 2, and add it to 56, and that gives us 84 days. So at the lower end, it would be September 13th. That is when the peak would be. However, we are well past September 13th is September 24th, so that is probably not a good estimate, so we're probably still on track. So this is probably the more realistic estimate for when the peak of the summer wave would happen, November 14th.